Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul.
They're gonna run out of cheeseheads soon.
The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It's your man Clopboy Bells. Welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports Weekly. Obviously, game day analysis. Packers fall to the Atlanta Falcons on the road, 24-25. Pretty much is one of those games that I feel like we wish I could have taken it back, but I feel like the defense just caved. They got too tired, and nothing really seemed to go for it. I'm not going to sit there and say that we played terrible, the offense, what I was meaning. The defense, on the other hand, I feel like they started out strong and then they just couldn't really get anything. And I feel like it's because they were really on the field more. The time of possession was really a killer in this game. Not really much to say, but I feel like I wish we could have done more. But it is what it is. There were some positives I think we did see in this game. But there were some things that I also could consider, like, I wish they didn't happen. And while we really think about, a lot of things, I think that we should just stay in the season with an open mind. It's only the second game of the year. And you know what? There are a lot of opportunities that Love can get. And I think that's what's important. This is a young team. What are we going to do? And these things are going to happen, but I feel like this game is a great example of what a possible learning experience can be. We'll say that Kenny Clark should get game ball. I feel like he definitely played out his heart today. 6 total tackles, 1 solo, half of a sack that he shared with Rashawn Gary. Also, Quay Walker had a phenomenal game, 17 total tackles in this game. He really almost had an interception. That was key. That really was key. Also, Jaden Reed, I thought, really showed up. He definitely really did what he needed to do. I think he's going to definitely be a great player. And I can say Jordan Love also played pretty good today as well. All right, so going on with the passing game, I guess Jordan Love went 14-25, 151 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was only sacked once in this game by Caden Ellis, and his quarterback rating of 113.5. Not as good as last week's, but still did good enough to at least get us some points on the board. 2 carries also for 23 yards. No Aaron Jones on the ground game. That was unfortunate. I think we could have used him, and he would have been a definite difference maker in this game because, fortunately, A.J. Dillon, even though A.J. Dillon did not play good at all last week, definitely a little bit better of a game. 15 carries, 55 yards, and then a catch for 8. Not much. And we saw some from Emmanuel Wilson and Patrick Taylor, but they did not really provide much. Weirdly enough, Dontavion Wicks led the way with 2 catches for 40 yards and his first career touchdown, so that's great to see. Jaden Reed, 4 catches, 37 yards, and his 2 touchdowns on the game. Romeo had 2 catches for 30, and Luke Musgrave had 2 for 25. Not much from everybody else, but I guess they could apply some things. As I said before, Quay Walker led the game with 17. Also, Devondre had 14 tackles. Darnell had 8. And both sack, and obviously there was only 1 combined sack by Kenny Clark and Rashawn Gary on the day, and an interception by Rasul Douglas. Not much from anything. Anders Carlson only had 1 field goal attempt. Not much from anything else. On the Atlanta side, Desmond Ridder went 19-32, 237 yards, a touchdown and interception, and 10 carries for 39 yards, and a rushing touchdown on the ground. But pretty much, he did a decently good job. I feel like I could have seen better, but realistically, we lost because we could not contain that run game. And that run game was just unstoppable. Bijan Robinson, that rookie, that dude's a heck of a player. 19 carries, 124 yards, and also 4 catches for 48 yards. He's going to be one heck of a player. Algier had 16 for 48. Drake London led the game with 6 catches for 67 yards and the touchdown. Mac Hollins had 3 for 60. Jonnu Smith had 2 for 47, and Kyle Pitts had 2 for 15. Biggest bust of all time. On the ground, and then on the defensive side, not much from the defense, because let's be real, the time of possession really went to Atlanta in this one. Caden Ellis led the way with 6 total tackles. Not much from anyone else. And, of course, a good game by Younghoe Koo for Atlanta. 4 of 4 from field goals, of course, including the game winner. And literally they only punted 1 time today. So I guess you could say there are some things that we wish we could have seen, but we didn't see them, and it's unfortunate. The young pass catchers that we have, and of course Watson, obviously, hopefully he's back soon, but you know what? These guys really filled in. Wicks and Reed especially. Dobbs, of course. This is a really young offense, and I think Jordan Love, game by game, is going to trust these guys to really get these plays taken care of. The unfortunate thing is Elgin Jenkins also left the game. We were without Jones, we were without Watson, and we were also without David Bakhtiari because he was kind of being a little crab. I was going to say some bad words, but he was being a little whiner about the turf because of what happened to Aaron Rodgers' injury. But, you know, we also lost Elgin Jenkins as well. We don't know what his injury is, but apparently they said it was a knee, and you know, it was unfortunate. His injury just was unfortunate. We ran out of gas in this game. I think we just stopped after that touchdown in the 4th. The mental errors just kept coming in, and I think it just was too much for them. I felt like it's just too much. Atlanta's got a really young defense. I'll be completely honest. I think they got some. Atlanta, I think, will win the division. I think they have the tools to really do it. The dropped interceptions really could have helped. Jenkins, of course, going down. I'm trying to think of some other things I would have thought of in this game. Yeah, other than the defense obviously was the huge key. Bijan Robinson really played well. I mean, I think a lot of people would agree. And same thing with Jair Alexander. I said the same thing. Jair just didn't really look good today as compared to last week. That's another problem. But you know what? We are only 1-1. And I'm just going to be clear. I'm going to be honest. I am not worrying at all. I am confident that things will be better. And everything is going to go in motion. Both games were on the road. I guess it's good to go 1-1. I would have been happy if we were 2-0. But this was a tough circumstance. A young game, a young team, young players. We will be okay. That's all I'm going to say. Next week, first home game of the year, finally, against the New Orleans Saints, a team that I could say is good. That is what I can really think of. But Saints have a good defense. Obviously, Derek Carr's the guy now. But yet again, this is early. But we will be okay. So if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts. Go Pack Go. We will see you next time.